Since I did this. Hey everyone.
Hey.
Happy May. Happy middle grade May. Happy Sunday. So we already have some people here. We have Anita, Nancy, Cornflower, Cajun. Thumbnail she made for this. Oh, thank you very much. Nancy, I'm reading Dragonfly in Amber today, and I plan on Alice in Wonderland this month. I don't think I've ever read it, but just seen the movie and the adaptations. I think I read it a couple of years ago.
I am not an Alice in Wonderland fan.
I'm not either. That's how I forced myself to read that one. Yeah, forced it. Hey, Green Stick. Hey, everybody, I'll be starting off with East of Eden by John Steinbeck, and then after that I'll be switching to the Penderwicks for middle grade May. Excellent. Yes, everybody, just please read. You don't have to read a middle grade today. If you're reading something else, that's totally fine. Read that. And Nancy, I ordered a beautiful book with the lovely illustrations for Alice, recommended by Lexi on Alexandra Rosalind's channel. Oh, nice. And we have Elizabeth.
Hi there. How you doing? Hello.
I switched it right on the first try. Very good.
Yay. I know I always have trouble with that because there's not an icon that looks just like this.
Correct.
And I don't know why there's not, but you know.
No, it's just like, I don't know. So let's, we got Tiffany's in here now too. Hey, Tiffany, I hope you're feeling better.
Yes.
I'll be switching back and forth between a couple books. And Sherry, hello. What are you guys going to be reading tonight?
I might be switching between a couple of books too. I have The Natural let's see if I get it right. The Natural Genius of Ants by Betty Culley. It's a middle grade contemporary. I have an e-arc of it, and it comes out this month. It comes out like on the 10th, so I want to try to get it done early. And then I have an audiobook of Space Case by Stuart Gibbs. It's the first book in that series. I'm trying all of his series, and I haven't tried that one yet. So,
what series is it? I haven't heard of it.
The Moon something. I have to look at it. The Moon-based alpha novel. So it's about mysteries in space with some middle graders. So,
oh, nice.
Fun. Yeah, I didn't even realize that Charlie Thorne was a series, and I didn't realize that Charlie Thorne was a girl until I heard you talking about it.
I know. I didn't either until I started reading it. I was like, wait, it's a girl.
Yeah, I've ordered that, but I don't have a copy of it yet. I have 4 of the Sunshine State books to read still, and that's one of them. The other 3 came in. I have the graphic novel of When Stars Are Scattered. Mm-hmm. It's a graphic novel. So I'm probably not going to start it tonight, though. But these are on my TBR for the month. A Wish in the Dark and Cleo Porter and the Body Electric, which I think is a dystopian sort of futuristic one. But tonight, I am going to read a chapter of the Penderwicks. And it's a reread for me. I've read the whole series, but you guys know I'm doing a read along, and I want to just take it slow, savor it. It's got 18 chapters, so my goal is to read 6 chapters a week. That gives me a day to slough off if I need it, and then I can get that done in 3 weeks, and it still gives me a week of grace in case something weird happens and I don't. And I have to miss some days. So, but after I read a chapter of that, I'm going back to my last Amish book, which I've been working on it today, and I am about at the halfway point. So, we drove over to a neighboring town and did some You Pick Peaches. So I was able to read in the car on the way there and back, and I've gotten a good bit read this afternoon. So I want to get that done today if possible. And I'm listening to my last Amish book on audio too. I want to try to get all the, finish up the Amish stuff today if possible. I mean, I didn't get everything read that I wanted to, but I had stuff checked out on Overdrive and Hoopla, and I didn't want to waste those borrows. So just trying to get those done.
Well, it's like with this space case one or whatever. I've had it out for a while on overdrive, and I have like 2 days left. So I was like, oh, we need to get that one done before it comes back. It wasn't even on my PBR, so I'm already gone rogue.
Did you hear from Beth? Is she going to be able to be on tonight?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, let me text her and just see.
Okay.
She may have not noticed the link on Voxer, so
Okay.
I'll make sure she saw it.
All right.
Sometimes she does a lot of family stuff on Sundays too. Her dad's a preacher and everything, so she
Okay.
may not be able to come.
Okay. Let's see. Cajun said she's reading Broadcast for Murder, Sophie Kimball, number 7. And Cav said, you've awakened the middle grade monster. I'm sitting in the midst of piles of beautiful, old, very old library discards. I think I'm on a high from age ignorance to finding blue.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nancy, I'm way behind on my reading today. Also may switch to Morning Glory after. Annie, hey everyone, hello. She's listening to The Mystery of Hollow Inn by Tara Ellis. And Anita, I'm reading Pieces and Players by Blue Ballet for middle grade May. But we'll continue with Sydney Boxer and The Killing Ending by Karen McInerney. Okay. And Hannah's here. She just got off work. We are slow. I hope you can get home and get relaxed real quick. And we have Mel. Hi, Lee. Hi, Storm. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, everyone. I'm reading Bait and Witch by Angela M. Sanders, number 1 in the Witch Way Library. It's an April leftover, and I'm determined to finish today.
How are you liking that one, Mel Mac? I'm curious.
Have my Penderwick's Library hold came in audiobook, so I've started that while I dither over my other piles.
Okay. Awesome.
And Sherry,
and as far as Penderwick's goes, I'm going to put a thing on there tonight after I read the first chapter to get everyone's first reaction. Like if it's your first read, when you sat down with it, whether you read a chapter or the whole thing, what was your first reaction? So everybody who's reading it, who's starting it today, go on my Goodreads group after and just, first impressions, let us know. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I just want to say, Sherry said she's switching up between The Russian by James Patterson, A Place at the Table by Sadia Farouk, or Quilt Trip.
What's Quilt Trip?
And Melmac, even if she's a hobby, to do it. Yeah, that sounds like a fun one too, Quilt Trip.
Wait, yeah, what is that about? Is that a cozy mystery, or who's the author? You can't just mention quilting and not like expand on that.
Yes, I think for myself today, I am going to read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. And I'm going to continue with Jade Legacy from yesterday that I did not finish. So,
is Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, is that from the Fudge series?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 1 in the Fudge series.
Okay.
I don't think I read those when I was wrong.
Yeah, I tried picking one up when Katie was in elementary school because her librarian mentioned it, and she mentioned Super Fudge, I think. But then I got it and I realized it was farther down the series, and I thought, well, I can't read this. I have to start the beginning, and then I just never did.
Mel Max says, I like it so far. It's interesting, a bit different, not Ellery Adams different. It has potential to become a good series once the book's set up, said and done.
And remind me what book she's talking about.
Oh, Bait and Witch.
Bait and Witch.
Okay.
And then Cass said, how do I find Elizabeth's group chat on Goodreads?
Oh, it's linked in all of my videos. Literally every single one. If you find one where it's not linked, let me know because I need to add it. Yeah, from day one, my Goodreads. If you, actually, I take that back. My Goodreads page is linked in every one, but I've started putting my Goodreads group at the bottom. So any of the recent videos, if you just scroll through, it's called Lizzie Faye's Comfy Corner.
Mm-hmm. And Chelsea is an
okay.
Cozy. I've got less than 100 pages left.
Okay, I have a couple of those, but I don't have Quilt Trip. I haven't started reading
and
that.
In case everybody doesn't know, Elizabeth's channel is Lizzie Faye Loves Books. So
yes.
Yeah. It's there.
And
It's
Yeah.
under the words.
Yep.
I will put them all in the
it's
link
hidden.
after this too, so you could find them. And Tiffany says, no, I'll be listening to Rocky Road to Ruin and we'll be starting I'm assuming 1 in the Sleepover Friends series. I love these when I was a kid. Lee reminded me of them. I'm not sure if they're all middle grade. I think they are. I would classify them
I
as middle
would,
grade.
yeah.
Cajun says Southern Quilting. I love that series. I wish more people read it.
I'm gonna read it. I've got a few of them. How many are in that series? Let me go. I'm just gonna look that up.
I think I'm going to try that because that's Laura Bradford, right? With her other name.
No, I don't think
it?
so. Elizabeth Span Craig, I think, is the
Yeah.
um.
Yeah, I thought that was her pen name.
No,
maybe.
Elizabeth Lane Casey is Laura
Oh, is it
Bradford.
Elizabeth? Okay.
Different
I knew
Elizabeth.
there was one.
There's a lot
It
of
was
us,
Elizabeth
Elizabeth.
something.
She's got some other series too. Myrtle Clover
Elizabeth
series.
Van Craig.
Yeah, the Village Library Mysteries. I didn't know about all these. Yeah, the Southern Quilting Mysteries. The first one is called Quilt or Innocence. And let's see.
Yeah, Cajun said no, sewing, the Southern Sewing, not the Southern
Quilt Trip is the third book. I think I have the fourth one, Sheer
There's
Trouble.
too many sewing and quilting names that are kind of the same. I get confused.
Right.
This is a big series. I did not realize there are 15 books in the Southern Quilting series. I had no idea there were that many. Wow.
I'm going to just read the last few, well, not read just the last few comments, but I want to start at quarter after reading because
Okay.
I have a lot to catch up on.
All
She's
right.
like, I want to read a lot. And I'm like, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It would be amazing if I could get this book finished today. I have like 150, 150 pages left, which is about the most I've ever read in one day. So I don't hope to get it all done during the sprint, but you know, I will get as much done as I can. But I am going to read my chapter in this first.
Okay. Tiffany
Get
says
it
she
ready.
started reading a few months ago. She hasn't had time in a while. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're getting back to them now. With that. Then Mel Max says, reading Rocky Road to Ruin made me want ice cream.
It does make me want ice cream.
I know. Who's the author of that? It is like an ice cream series because that's not the Abby Colette series.
Yeah, it's a different one. I can't remember who.
Because I know I don't recognize those titles, and I've started the Abby Colette series.
Agent said Myrtle Clover is a hoot. Love those too.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'd never even heard of those today. Sushi ice cream. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Or ice cream.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
ice cream because I don't like sushi, but you know.
But definitely don't have them together. Yeah, like that's ice cream. No. Yes, Tiffany votes ice cream. Ice cream. No, that's disgusting. No, Mary Ellen.
Okay. Is that the ice cream?
Yeah, it's a Rocky Road.
Mary Ellen Rocky Road.
Yeah, I gotta look for those. Sounds good.
It does. Now people are going to be wanting ice cream now because of that.
I know. Ooh,
you guys?
and I have a Blizzard in the freezer right now from Dairy Queen. It was my daughter's, and she didn't eat it, so I'm like, it's fair game now, right? If she didn't eat it.
Yeah, that's right.
You put it in there. You got 5 minutes. If you don't eat it now, that's it. It's open for everybody. Do you guys want to do a half hour or 45 minutes? Don't
whatever you want. I am the guest.
Oh, I know you want to do 45, so just do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. She knew what I wanted. Reading till 00. I got a couple other people commenting here. I'm getting both. I'll have one now and the other. That's a good decision then, Hannah. You get what you want. All right, reading till top of the hour, and happy reading.
All right, I'm going to go get some more coffee, and I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. How was everybody's sprint?
Good. I was trying not to get sick.
I was falling asleep a little bit there myself.
I had to get up and like walk around and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm tired.
I read my Penderwick's chapter and then I had to get up and reboot the laundry. So that gave me a minute to walk around. So then I came back and finished a chapter of my Amish book, Plain Scandal, which is by Amanda Flower. It's one of her lesser known series, at least in our circles.
Nice.
Hello, Miss Beth. How are you?
I'm good. We got home from church and I thought I'd miss the deal because we drive an hour over to Shamrock and do church and lunch with my parents every week. But I got the girls settled and I got to log in. And then promptly the 2-year-old got herself out the door and we had to go chase her down.
Oh, jeez.
They're in the backyard. She needs to take a nap, but it was already 3:00 and I was like, I don't even care at this point.
Right.
If you take a nap now, you're going to be up all night. So I let them go in the backyard to play. Her sister's watching her. They're right there. And then all of a sudden, the 9-year-old comes running in the house and is like, she's gone. They'd been in the backyard 2 minutes. 2. I had just logged in and everything.
Of course. That's funny.
Sorry, if I ever have to leave abruptly, it's because Emily is in the next room over and I never know how she's going to come through the door. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Just shut off the camera.
Yeah.
Susan said, just got here, had to make an unplanned visit to Walmart Auto Service to get a nearly flat tire repaired. So grateful they're open on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Susan said, question, would Nancy Drew be considered middle grade?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's up to however you want to, because I looked on Goodreads and like people have it labeled as young adult and people have it labeled as middle grade. So
it's not inappropriate for
the writing is
middle grade
middle
at
grade.
all.
Yeah.
It's labeled young adult because Nancy is 16 to 18 years old. But the Nancy Drew series itself is written on about a 4th grade level. So it falls smack dab into both categories. I would totally read Nancy Drew for
middle grade. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to read the second. Yeah. I'm going to read the second Trixie Belton book this month. In their same level.
Susan, Holiday and Death is definitely not middle grade.
No. Not at all.
Not even YA.
Jalen, hi all. I'm not reading anything yet. Just got home from the road to meet Ellie Alexander. It was fun, but man, am I tired. I was able to finish Murder, She Wrote. Slang in Savannah is on audio. And she also finished Shape of Thunder last month. I believe I got the recommendation from one of you.
Did you meet Ellie Alexander, or did you go to the same thing Tiffany went to Malice, or did you go to like a author event, or what? Just curious.
Cass at 25% into the Penderwicks. The narrator is really good, and I baked brownies while I listened. Now, just not to forget to char them. In the story.
Yeah, I just read chapter 1, and I think I had listened to the Penderwicks on audio the first time through. Some of them I did read, and some I listened to on audio. I can't remember which, but I didn't remember the first chapter at all. And it's about them getting to their place where they're going to stay for 3 weeks in the summer, like their vacation cottage. And it's like outside of a mansion called Arendelle. And every time I hear Arendelle, I know there's some other bigger book that has a similar name, and it's not Rivendell.
Frozen.
From The Hobbit. What is it from?
Yes, Frozen.
It's from the movie Frozen. That's where Anna and Elsa.
Right. Okay, it's spelled differently though, because I think the Penderwicks is older than Frozen. Well, I don't know though. It may not be. When did Frozen even come out? I don't think it's spelled the same though. It just, I hear that and I think magical. 2005 is when this was published. Somebody real quick. When was Frozen first? When did it first come out? It's not as old as 2005.
2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in
Okay. I was gonna
2010.
say. Yeah. So just coincidence, I suppose. But it does have a kind of a fantasy feel to it. Maybe there's some other fantasy location in an older book that has a similar name. I feel like it's something out of Lord of the Rings or something.
I was
What
thinking
it
that
sounds like. Yeah. But I may just be thinking of Rivendell. So I don't know.
There you go. And I got to 93% in her book. She's almost done. And she only got sushi. Tammy said it was a great sprint for her. She only got
Nice.
14 minutes left of a place at the table.
Nice.
I'm almost done there. Anita made it to 81%. Cajun, 67%. Susan, at 19% was Hidden Staircase. Okay.
All right, I have to know about A Place at the Table. There's like a bunch of books by that name. That sounds like something I would like. Who's the author of the one that you just mentioned? Is it Susan Rebecca White? Or there's others. There's a cookbook by that name, but I don't think that's the one.
Aaliyah just got her high. She started 13% in the Magician's Convention, middle grade fantasy by Elena Page. And
East
Green
of Eden.
never got to East of Eden, but did get April wrapped up and May set up in my journal. So I'm glad that's done. That's always good, being
Nice.
productive.
Good job.
Done. I love Trixie Belden. Trixie Belden, oh no, I didn't even have my whole out Trixie Belden. The more decisions to be made. I've just added to the options. Thanks for answering the middle grade question. I wanted to reread Nancy Drew series, so that's my chance. Perfect.
Nice. Yeah, I missed who was reading Trixie Belden, because Beth just did a read along of the first Trixie Belden from middle grade. I mean, not middle grade May. Well, it kind of was. It was for March, so March Mystery Madness. It was for middle grade March Mystery Madness. To mesh that together.
I'm going to read the second one this month.
Awesome. So you didn't get it read in March. Good.
It's an in-depth series on my Sassos. I'm trying to get some of them read. It definitely isn't middle grade now.
Yeah, I know. And I knew you knew that. I was just joking around.
And good luck if you're going to get those finished this year, because there's a lot in that series.
Yeah, really. Hey there, Melody Raylan. Okay, I saw hers. Sadia Faruqi. Okay, I saw that author. Let me see.
That's what we're reading.
Okay, so that is a middle grade book about sixth graders, a Pakistani.
What are you guys reading over there?
Neat.
Oh no, we dropped it. Never Touch a Shark.
Ooh.
We also have Never Touch a Dinosaur. So.
Very cool.
Very good advice.
Good advice, yes.
So, are you doing for a book a day in May? Are you just going to count everything, or are you going to do like a book a day with your kids, or what are you doing for book a day in May?
Everything. Any book that I read with Raylyn, Elena and I are reading. We just finished the Harry Potter series, so she started Skullduggery Pleasant with me in March. So we're going to read through.
Skullduggery Pleasant too.
Let the child speak.
My goodness. She said, we're on Skullduggery Pleasant too. We've got about an hour left in the audiobook for the second one. That counts. Everything counts. We're doing one more book and a book of short stories and like a book of Greek mythology with my classes. We have 3.5 weeks of school, 3 weeks of school left. It's Sunday, not Wednesday. We have 3 weeks of school left. So any of the short story books and stuff we read, I'm counting that. Because you're going to read like 112 books in May. So
No, I'm not actually.
Gotta at least,
I am just going to do the 31 Dr. Seuss books, and that will officially be my book a day in May with Emily. And then I probably won't have 31 other books. I've got 8 middle grade books to read in print. So 2 a week is my goal there. And then I found some books on audio that are on my TBR that I didn't know I could find on audio. So that's exciting. And so I'm going to try to zip through a few audiobooks. Have you guys ever heard of The Eighth Day by Diane K. Salerni? It's like an urban fantasy, and it's about this boy who wakes up. He goes to bed. I don't know if it's on Wednesday night or Thursday night, but he wakes up in an 8th day of the week that's in between Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday. I don't know. And everything is kind of gray. It's like this alternate dimension sort of thing, but it's really good. And it's a trilogy. So I was just going to read books 2 and 3, but they're all 3 on Hoopla on audio. And it's been a while since I read it. It's really good. It has ties to the Arthurian legend as well. So that's kind of cool. And I may just go ahead and listen to the first one again and listen to all 3. So it's fun. Morgan's Curse is book 2. And I don't know the 3rd one. Well, but there's something else called Morgan's Curse.
Oh.
I think there's more than one book by that name. Because I think that is a legend in and of itself, maybe.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure. But these are by Diane, and Diane is spelled weird. It's like Dianne, which is not weird, but it's not the norm. And then K, the middle initial K, and Salerni, Salerni, something like that. But the first one's called The Eighth Day. And oh yeah, so I just pulled it up. When Jax wakes up in a world without any people in it, he assumes it's the zombie apocalypse. So his brother, it turns out when he wakes up in this 8th day, there's a couple of other people that not everybody obviously experiences this 8th day, but his older brother and guardian does. And it turns out that it's like, it's genetic, I guess. The people who can experience the 8th day is genetic, I think. I don't know. I'm probably giving spoilers, but it's a fun book. Unique.
Cute kiddo. Green stick, my journal wrap up setup could also be called sticker play. That's fun too. They're having fun.
Yep.
And Susan said I plan on making a small dent in the J.G. Robb series. Holidays only number 7. Yeah, because I think they're on like what 55 or 56.
I think so. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. It's like outrageous.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, and she's still like writing at least one a year. So
Yeah.
well, good luck, Susan. I mean, that's a lot to get
Yeah.
through. For sure. Okay, I know I'm going to be pushing it again, but I'm going to say a quarter after again. Let's start another sprint.
That's fine.
I'm determined to at least get through a book and like start working on my backup books again.
So I missed. What are you reading tonight?
I am
here's
reading
Emily again.
Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing. Which
You're reading
what?
what?
Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume, which is so funny because I haven't read this in 35 years. And like still going right into it and like hearing the beginning, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. So
That's right. Now I remember asking you if that was from the Fudge series. So I forgot. My memory's terrible.
all good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Just to get back in it.
Tomorrow I'm going to the library and I'm going to see what I can come up with for some
Nice.
Cool.
Because you don't have enough choices to pick from, right?
I don't. No.
What are you reading tonight? I forgot that too.
Space Case.
Oh, that's right.
And I'll probably
kids
on the
in
next
space.
one I'm going to do The Natural Genius of Ants, and it's a contemporary middle grade.
Is
It's
that about
raising
ants
an ant farm.
do they mutate and take over an island or anything? We were talking about that
No,
last
it's
night.
about it's supposed. Hopefully, it's not too sad. It's about a father who needs to forgive himself or whatever because he made a mistake. He's a doctor, and I guess a baby died, and so he can't forgive himself for what happened. And so he's not a doctor now. He can't do it. He just can't do it. It's been 5 months, so he decides to take his two kids back to where he grew up, is a small town, and they're gonna have an ant farm or something. And something happens to the ants. I think the ants come and they're dead, but they don't want to tell their dad because he's already had this death. So they go out and they grab ants out of the yard and stuff and put in their ant farm.
Aw.
And
Oh,
so, yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
that's very cute. Hannah, am I going to read Fairy Tale Detective soon? Yes, I am. I'm reading it this week. I just got it on Hoopla today. So,
I haven't heard of that. You'll have to tell us about it after the sprint.
all right. So, is to the top of the hour okay with everyone?
Sure.
All right. Happy readings. See you guys in 45. everybody. How'd you guys do on that turn?
Hey there. I am 2.5 pages away from finishing another chapter, but I finished several chapters.
Nice.
They're short. I don't even know how many pages. Probably if I added them all up, it's not that many pages.
I got to 10% on the natural genius of ants.
Nice. How are you liking that one so far?
So far, it's not too bad.
We have Mr. Fancy with us now too.
Hi, everyone.
Hey there.
How'd you do, Elizabeth? And what knitting project are you working on?
Sorry.
Except for Elizabeth, I see she's crocheting or knitting or something. What project is she working on?
I think one time when she was on a
Talking to
live
me?
stream, she was crocheting. What are you making, Beth?
I am working on another baby blanket for my friend who is pregnant. So I'm making, you can't tell, but it's going to be an S. You can kind of tell.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
And then I'm going to have that in the center of the blanket. Get that mailed off to her. She's like 8 months pregnant. I figured I needed to get it done.
There you go.
I'm listening to the audiobook of The In-Between while I do that. Started it after getting on here, and I'm in the middle of chapter 6. So
Nice.
doing pretty good.
There you go. Susan, so when I first read Nancy Drew from my mother's original copies, I thought Nancy was younger, like 12 or 13.
I wondered if you were thinking about Trixie Belden, because that is Trixie Belden's age, and sometimes people get them confused. But I don't know. Yeah, I think she was
Nancy
always
was 16 when we started. Yeah. Now there
she
are
was driving a car.
some side deals that were made when she was in middle school, but those came out in like the 70s or 80s. The original Nancy Drew, she's 16.
Oh, I didn't even know about those.
And then she goes up to 18 at some point. But yeah,
Are you
she
talking
started out
about
at 16.
the Nancy Drew files? I think those might be 90s, maybe late 80s to 90s, because they were after my time, after I'd already moved on.
There's a series that came out in the 80s that's, what school did she go to? Ridgeberry or whatever. It's Ridgeport, Ridgeberry something, middle school files that came out around the time Babysitter's Club became super popular in the mid 80s and then early 90s.
I did not know about those. That's another Nancy Drew series to check out.
Great.
They're not great. I wouldn't waste your time.
Oh no.
Like, don't waste your time.
Okay.
Anita also says, I love fairy tale detectives. I'm glad a lot of people like it. I'm excited to read those. So
Yeah, who's the author of those?
that is Michael Buckley.
Buckley. All right.
It's the Sisters Grimm series.
I just found it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add those to my list to look up. Are those on audio anywhere?
I do know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, I got them on Hoopla audio.
Oh, great.
None of my libraries around here have Hoopla or Libby or any of that. They don't have any online.
No.
Even the big one in Childress does not have it.
Wow, and if Childress is your big one, that's a pretty small town. Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm the same distance from Childress as I am from Amarillo, but I go to Childress. I avoid Amarillo like the plague. So
yeah. No, I'm just
although I should go online and see if I can sign up for Amarillo Library for online books anyway, because we got nothing.
I bet Amarillo would have it. Maybe.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
It just boggles my mind because, I mean, we had it in Oklahoma. All the little libraries have it. And then I moved down here, and my closest town is as big as where I was living before. Nothing. It's very sad.
They just not have the. Could
Yeah.
ask and see if they'd be
That's,
willing to get it.
The woman that runs the library in Shamrock, she goes to church with my parents, and she was telling me that it's funding. The state doesn't have the funding for all the libraries that we have.
Yeah.
And so funding the online portion for small libraries has not been a priority.
Yeah. That's too bad. And with everything like being so spread out, it would probably be popular. I mean, people would probably utilize it because it's a far drive for people who live out, you know, in the remote areas.
It would be, but we should do fundraisers. But that sounds like a lot of work.
In your copious free time, you know, you could do that.
Right.
Right.
I have so much of that. Okay, the Metamorphosis is not a middle grade story. Just gonna throw that out there.
How are you liking it, Mr. Francie?
Well, I'll use one word: dry. It's very, very dry.
I did not like that when I had to read that one. So
Same.
Yeah.
Is that horror?
Just to clear it up for everyone, I went back to university last year to study literature. I have to read this book for school. I did not choose it. So I want to get them out the way.
Sorry.
Once that's done, I can focus on middle grade.
Tammy's mom is at the hospital. We
Yeah.
will definitely be thinking about her and praying for her.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you don't know, Anne is Tammy's mom. Bob is her dad. It's Anne and Bob, like Anne and Bob.
except for Tiffany likes to call her and Bob.
And Bob, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody just saying hi, hoping good for Anne. Sherry finished her book. She loved it. 4.5 stars.
Nice.
And
Recommendation.
Anita got to 90%. Anna, 48 pages in Death by Dumpling at 15%. I'm really liking this book. Good, because I like that series too, and I'm going to jump back on it too. So we'll have something to talk about.
Good. I've read that first one. I need to pick up another one.
I've read the first 3, but I bought the rest of them.
I've
in the
only
series.
read the first one.
There you go. I'll get back on it. Susan, 51%. It's only 3-hour audio, so I should finish today. I feel like it's always a good to start off with something like short and quick, because then you get your motivation going right away, and you're like, all right, momentum going right away. Green Stick, page 27 of East of Eden. I've read 7 chapters total. Really enjoyed it so far. Okay. Melmac did 26 pages. Hello to Mr. Francie. Have about 40% of the Penderwicks. Reminds me of The Saturdays by Elizabeth Enright, which is also possibly on my list this month.
Elizabeth, are we reading like 1 chapter a day of that?
That's what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want to do. But I said on the Goodreads chat that I'm going to set a goal to read 6 chapters a week for 3 weeks. There's 18 chapters. So that gives me a grace day each week and an extra week at the end of the month in case anything happens. But you can read it at your own pace and feel free to comment at whatever point that you want to. Have you read them before? Have you read
I've
any
only
of them?
got one final left, so I have not read any of them, but
Okay.
the grammar course that I was like, I'm going to fail this thing so hard and I'm going to get kicked out of my grad program and blah, blah, blah. I got an email yesterday that said, hey, congratulations. I've done your final project, graded it, you have a 90% or above an A in the class. You don't have to take the final, and we're done for the semester. Have a good summer. And I was like, last time I checked, I had a low C. So I don't know what magic worked,
Great.
but I
Well
was
done.
I celebrated by buying I celebrated by getting the Pender Wigs on Audible. So
Oh, there
I
you
was like,
go.
I'm buying books.
Yeah, you deserve a
Congrats.
reward for that. Good job.
I would
And I
like to say, Hannah, that you should have just got ice cream. I told you to get ice cream.
So, Beth, I forgot. Is this your doctorate you're working on, or your master's, or what
My
degree are you working on right
master's.
now? Master's. Okay. Good job.
Right.
I am working on a master's degree in English literature, but there's not just a straight path. We don't have in like the entire United States, there's not a master's degree for middle grade literature or doctorates. So I'm just piecing together a literature master's with whatever I want to
You're
do,
making
and
one.
then we're going to find a way
Is-
to make it work.
Is there
we're-
one for children's literature? Like, is there not one just for
Kind
children's
of.
literature, though?
Kind of, but it is very much classic children's literature
Okay.
or literature as a whole. It is not anything modern. And I love classic children's literature. Most of it is middle grade literature. But I want to do modern. And middle grade wasn't even a thing until the last like 20, 30 years. There wasn't a category for it.
Right.
So we're just trying to catch up. They said that I can piece together a PhD if I want to, but I'm going to look at maybe doing online via a UK college and see if they've got something a little more advanced. Maybe they're ahead of us. Probably they're ahead of us. But I don't know. All I know is that when I say I'm doing middle grade literature, my professors are like, okay. So
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, a word about you since you mentioned classics. Like when people start talking about classics and how they love classics or whatever, the only classics that I really like as a whole are children's classics. I'm not a fan of classics, but give me a children's classic, like Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, all of that stuff. That's what I love when it comes to classics. Like I look at
those are my
books.
two favorite ones to teach to junior high kids.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at any of those books, like 1,001 books you should read before you die and all that? Like, Sandy, I can't think what her channel is. Reads a lot. Reads a lot. She's doing that 1,000 books you should read before you die. I look through those type of books and I only want to read the children's books. I don't care about any of the others.
I love it.
600 different Nancy Drew books. That's just amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot. And we probably, I didn't know about, maybe 100, 200 of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's insane. I
My
had no
favorite
idea.
one is the Nancy Drew Hardy Boys.
Love those.
They're not middle grade. They're definitely new adult, but we have the entire Nancy Drew Hardy Boys series. Because when they started coming out, my mom like flipped out. She stands Nancy and Frank like hardcore. She likes Ned, but like we could get rid of him. It's fine. So every time a new one came out, we got them. So I've got my mom's whole set in there. They're
agree.
ridiculous.
I agree with
and I
Ned.
love
He
them.
can go.
Oh, I like Ned.
Yeah.
Right?
I always love
My
that
mom,
name.
who does not write. I write, my dad writes, my mom doesn't write. She's terrible with grammar. It's hilarious. She wrote an entire fan fiction novel wherein Frank and Callie broke up, Nancy and Ned broke up, Ned and Callie got together, got married, and Frank and Nancy are now together and the godparents of Ned and Callie's children. She turned it into some sort of weird mystery romance thing. Oh, and Joe and Bess. No, George. I don't remember which one, but they got together too. Yeah.
Wow.
I hope she has it somewhere. I want to hear it when I was like 9, and she come in and be like, "Does this sentence make sense?" Sure, Mom. What are you doing in bed?
Hannah, I totally forgot you were an Okie. Where in Oklahoma are you, if you don't mind saying, or what's the general area? What's your county?
I think she's Oklahoma City around there.
Oklahoma City?
I think.
Okay.
Well, Nancy Drew will fit the middle grade, and the in-depth will fit the thriller for Mr. Francie's Mix It Up Readathon. So I will have 2 blocks done.
That's definitely a mix.
Yeah, it is. Really enjoying the Kebab Kitchen. It's the Kebab Kitchen, but better. Oh yeah, way better.
Better than
The Noodle Shop series is better.
you think Kebab Kitchen is better than the
No.
Noodle Shop? Noodle Shop is better. Okay, I was going to say. And I kind of tend to think of them, I compare them a little bit myself. It's funny that somebody else should say
I
that.
see why though. It's ethnic groups. Your parents run the restaurant. You're coming back to work there. I get why. Yeah.
Yeah. And aren't the restaurants in kind of like a little sort of a market area, strip mall area? Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Hannah, you should have went with the ice cream. Rares. Read the Metamorphosis back in 20s. Very bizarre. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It was in my sophomores, I think. Yeah, the sophomores. We had to read it at the beginning of the year, and they did an annotated version of the Metamorphosis, which made it even weirder somehow. And attempting to explain to them, they're like, he's a bug.
Right.
Like, what? Why is he? What? And I'm like, yeah, he's a bug. But why?
That's it.
That's all. And they're like trying to do all this big meaning, like whatever. And I'm like, nah, he's a bug. That was it.
I would like to say, Melmac, you're so funny.
I don't know anything about Metamorphosis.
Oh, don't waste your time. You're fine.
Yeah.
Is it the one by Franz
It's a classic, so
Yeah.
just think of it like that. It's a classic, so you won't like it.
But if it's,
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a classic about like
About a guy changing into a bug?
Okay, see, but that's the kind of stuff, the weird stuff that I do kind of like The Fly. You know, because I said last night on Sarah's channel that the only kind of horror movies that I really like are about like where some kind of creature mutates and multiplies and like takes over an island or something. So if somebody's changing into something, that's kind of a similar thing, you know. It's creepy, gross, and kind of weird.
That would be interesting. But this is just literally, it starts off, he's a bug, and he's a bug, and nothing's happening. He's just a bug, and he's just sitting there, basically.
He's observing that he's a bug, and that's it. Like, nothing happens.
Okay, so no plot.
He's just laying in bed. His family comes in, that's it. Yeah. He's a bug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I hope you guys can't hear my little dog like screaming downstairs. It's driving me crazy.
You know what you should try, Elizabeth, if you haven't already? The middle grade series, The Animorphs.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen those. Oh, and by the way, I was thinking, so if you say Elizabeth, I think you're talking to me, and I know Beth her name is also Elizabeth, but if you call her Beth and me Elizabeth, then that would distinguish. Or you can call me Lizzie, but if you say Elizabeth, that could be either of us, unless
I won't answer. That's my in trouble name.
That's Elizabeth's trouble. Yeah, so she usually goes by Beth.
Yeah.
Or at least in my mind, she does.
Hannah's getting her ice cream tomorrow to fix this. I mean, it was the problem you brought upon yourself, but that's okay. Ice cream.
You should have got both. You might have at least had one thing that was good. So.
That's true. True. She's binging the Noodle Shop series this month. Try to read 2 a week. Okay.
Right.
Got to 83%, and my neighbor stopped by. Oh. Congrats, Beth.
Yeah.
On your good grades.
20 minutes north of Oklahoma City.
Very
okay,
exciting.
awesome. Is that like Edmond? That
Where?
Area? Is it Edmond?
I don't
Hannah, you need to
know.
give out your official location.
So we can stalk you. Just kidding.
Yeah, like she's right around the corner or something.
Love the Animorphs. Still have a couple copies.
Nice, Annie.
She lives in Piedmont. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was just changing into a bug. If he terrorized his neighborhood, that would have been a story.
Right.
Exactly.
We might have liked it then.
Just sitting in his house being a bug isn't really all that interesting.
Right.
How's it a horror?
She didn't want to go to two different places. Okay.
Storm, I can hear your doggy now. Poor thing.
I don't know where my dad is, if he's asleep or what, because he probably
Yeah.
took a nap, but I could get him to, usually he, shuts her up, but
Do you want to bring her in there with you?
no, she's downstairs. She doesn't come up here. She's little
Oh.
bitty, and she's this big. But
Aw.
she's my dad's dog. She's old, and so
Aw.
she gets these little, fits. She's about 17 years old, so she's getting up there pretty
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
She's
Hannah,
blind.
I was in the Oklahoma City area in early April. My nephew and his family live in Yukon, so I drove along Route 66, which is where they live. And I was like, "Isn't Garth Brooks from here too?" And they're like, "Yeah, he's from Yukon."
All right, you guys ready to do another sprint?
Sure.
I'm determined to get this book done.
How much do you have left?
89. Oh, I have read 89%.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm hoping.
And how big is the book?
I think it was 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small one. All right, top of the hour again, okay with everyone?
Yep.
All right. Oh, I'm tight. All right, so happy reading. See you guys at the top of the hour.
Happy reading.
And we're back. I see everybody's still reading. Go ahead, finish your part. It's fine.
I had just started another chapter, so there's no finishing it quickly.
Yeah, for me too. I just had to stop because I'm like, all right, this is not gonna.
But I read over 30 pages that sprint, which for me is good.
Good
And
job.
I have now less than 100 to go in the whole book. So I might have a shot at finishing it tonight. I don't know though. I told my husband I would make a pie. We did we picked some peaches today at a U-Pick place this afternoon, and he's been peeling them while I've been on here. And so now that there are some peeled, I'd probably need to go make a pie or something.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to my audiobook while I do that.
There you go.
I got to 41% in Space Case. The reason she was whining, I forgot, because normally when I'm on live, like I've already ate, fed the dogs and all that stuff, and then come up here, but I was up here early because it was 3:00 my time.
Right.
So I hadn't fed them, and so she was letting me know
It's time to eat.
Makes sense.
Hannah said, "Oh, nice. I work at the outlet mall right by UConn."
Awesome. You may have even met my kinfolk.
Nancy said she'll be back after dinner. Quiche for dinner for Tiffany, who needs to know what people eat. She's reading Morning Glory by LaVer Spencer now.
So here, I'll tell Tiffany what I've been eating. I've consumed almost an entire thing of chips. It just to stay awake, because I fall asleep. But these are vegan Rob's cauliflower chips, so they're kind of healthy, and they're actually pretty good. I found them at Publix on clearance, and I got 2 cans of them for Katie because she's vegan and she hasn't even opened them. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna open one. It's good. Oh no, she has COVID. Oh my goodness. Ugh.
And her dad had surgery on Tuesday. This is the hardest stage of life, caring for your elderly parents, worrying about kids and grandkids. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So sorry. Tammy, are you close to where they are so you can be there with them?
I hope she is. Yeah, while keeping yourself together. Yeah, and she has to keep herself together to keep everybody else together.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
you know.
COVID should be over by now. I hate hearing that people are still getting it. Ugh.
Melanie said, hello, everyone. Just saw a notification about the Sprints Reading Malibu Rising for a vacation-a-thon.
Vacation-a-thon. I haven't heard of that one.
Taking the pooch out. Got to 80% with the Hidden Staircase. Nice.
Nice. Nancy Drew.
Finished Sydney's Boxers, about 3 stars. Okay. Have I started my first nostalgic middle grade read? Carbonell by Barbara Slay. A cat who is much more than he seems, and a broomstick that isn't just a broomstick, and the ordinary girl that finds them.
Well, that sounds kind of fun.
That sounds like it could be fun. Agent finished her book.
Awesome.
Aaliyah's 54% into the Magician's Convention. Everybody's wrapping things up nicely here.
Mm-hmm.
Green Stick read 39 pages of the Pender
Awesome.
9.
Good job.
And Hannah read 55 pages at 32%, really enjoying the book. Good. And hope your mom and dad get better soon. And Melmac read 24 pages. Yeah, I finished Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, and then I went back to Jade Legacy. I have just under 5 hours left, so.
I have to ask you, Lee, how was Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing?
It was great. I mean, I read it when I was little, and like just a quick story. My sister did not enjoy reading when she was younger. She had a difficult time with it. I loved it. And for some reason, my mom never wanted me to read in front of my sister because she didn't want me to hurt her feelings, I guess. But at night, my sister loved for me to read to her when we went to bed, and the whole Fudge series was like her favorite thing for me to read to her. So
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, just so many memories right now reading this. So
Is this April or do you have another sister?
yeah, April.
Nice.
That's so
Yeah, we have a brother.
awesome.
We have a brother too, but he wouldn't have cared about being read to. He'd be like, whatever, leave me alone.
That's
Aw,
awesome.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it was just as good as I remember. It was still really funny, and I feel like the lady who narrated it, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it is, she did such a great job too. Like, I think this would
Oh,
stand up
nice.
now too, except for some things. Like one of the parts was Fudge puts their mom's green stamps all over somebody's suitcase.
Green
I
stamps.
feel like no one would know that really. Like a kid today would have no idea what that was. So
Oh yeah, I remember green stamps. Oh, fun. So I just remembered a series that I don't know if I put it on my SAS list or not, but it's really cute. So I checked out. I think I still need to read books 4, 5, and 6. My library only has 4 and 5. They don't have 6. I mean, they have the earlier ones. But anyway, Charlie Joe Jackson series by Tommy Greenwald. Beth, have you read any of these? They're so fun. The very first one is called Charlie Joe Jackson's Guide to Not Reading. And this kid just talks about all these elaborate ways that all the things he does to avoid reading, and it's hilarious. So then this one, Charlie Joe Jackson's Guide to Planet Girl, says boys are clueless. So cute. And this one, Charlie Joe Jackson's Guide to Making Money. Cash is King. It says. Anyway, I've read the first 3, and they're so fun, and they're on Scribd. So for anybody who likes audio and has Scribd, you can find those audiobooks on Scribd. But they're fast to read, and I think they have some illustrations. No, maybe, well, there's little bits of illustrations. Not a whole lot. But anyway, the first book just by itself is worth the read, because all of the ways he goes to avoid not reading are just so funny.
and
Just
what was
hilarious.
that one? What was that one called again?
Charlie Joe Jackson's Guide to Not Reading. And then I think his next one is Guide to Extra Credit.
I see them.
And then Summer Vacation. I've read those 3. They're super cute.
And then Annie said she finished her book, a short middle grade mystery. Very nice.
Awesome.
Is April younger than me? Yes, we are a year, a month, and a day apart.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't have planned that any better.
Oh, so sweet.
But I'm not trying to cut it short here, but I do need to eat dinner. I'm starving, and I only have less than an hour left before my fasting window is closed, or starts again. So I need to go eat.
I need to eat too.
Yeah, you're not cutting it short. We've been on for like 3 hours.
Not
So
like
that's
3 hours.
yeah.
Wow.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so excited we're doing middle grade, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else is going to be reading and get done during the month.
Yeah, and
Come
it'll
see me
probably
on
rearrange my
Tuesday.
TV order.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, Elizabeth, do you have anybody for Tuesday?
If you want to come on, that'll be great for this Tuesday. 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central.
Like, as long as I can plan ahead, then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And anybody else out there watching, if you would like to come on as a guest, please do so. We'll talk about middle grade books. I want to talk about Newbery winners at some point in the month, and just anything, regarding middle grade. So let me know.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.